This is Tibi from Alithia, and you're listening to Collision on Voice FM.
How are you, Tibi?
I'm all right.
And Alithia, you guys, you've been keeping a little bit busy lately, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, we're focusing on writing the new album, which we're going to record next year in Istanbul, Turkey.
Really?
Yeah, because we did the first album a couple of years ago now in Budapest, and we found that it really had quite an impact on us as people, but also musically. You know, we have international guest artists. You know, we have the Bulgarian Gaida player, and we have a few Hungarian artists, and a New York rapper. And a lot of people say, you know, we don't have that Australian prog sound. We have a sound quite European sort of thing. And I think that, being in a different environment and recording there had that impact on us. So we want to take a similar approach, but just go somewhere else. And Istanbul, it's both a geographic and cultural kind of gateway between Europe and Asia, because the city's literally between the two continents. And my favourite film director is Fatih Akin, and he's a Turkish origin director but raised in Germany. And he made one documentary called Crossing the Bridge, which is crossing the bridge over the Bosphorus, and it's about the music scene there. And it's really fascinating. It's got a really culturally rich music scene. So I have no idea what's going to come out of it, but I think it will really have quite an impact on us. So we've been focusing on writing that album, plus getting ready to screen this film that we just made. So, yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about this film that you've just made, which is called Sacrifice.
Yeah, all right. I'll try not to give too much away, but basically we had a camera crew following us around for 2 days, a couple of months ago, back in May, around a show. And we actually, in real life, advertised the show as our singer, as Sparky, that's our singer's nickname, last at a show, because in the premise of the film, it's kind of like we're playing heightened versions of ourselves. And basically, yeah, in this film, we've got like a digital consultant who's telling us to advertise it's his last ever show because he will die after this show. So we've got to sell as many tickets to our friends and family, for $10 a piece or whatever, just to desperately try and get anyone to rock up to the show. And so in real life, we didn't tell people that he was going to die because we didn't want to freak people out. But that's the kind of premise in the film. And it's kind of like a dark comedy, and it's kind of a mockumentary. And basically, it's like if you got Spinal Tap with David Lynch. That's what it is, stylistically. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, I suppose, we want to put the spotlight on what does it mean to be in a band today? Like, why am I in a band? Why are we in a band? Why do we do it? Because when you think about it from a superficial point of view, like in the most materialistic sense, in the life that we live today, it actually doesn't make any sense at all to be in a band. Because you don't get anything material out of it. You don't get any money. You all right, maybe get a couple of free beers, but the amount of money that you have to put into, $65 per rehearsal session at the rehearsal room, and your strings and your instruments, and your travel to tour, and, to pay for your marketing and promo, you're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year. And basically to be in a band, you need to have a full-time steady income to be able to fund your band, to go on tours and to do sort of things. So materialistically, you don't get much out of it. And also socially, like it's gotten to the point like, oh, you're in a band, isn't that cool or whatever? Well, for a lot of bands, they're playing gigs on Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, or even if they're playing Friday nights and there's 28 payers at the show. And it's that kind of feeling of like, well, it's socially not a big thing because no one's rocking up to the shows because people are making other things a priority, not live music, not supporting, their own communities and developing cultures. They're too consumed in consuming mass culture rather than going and supporting and experiencing and being part of your local community culture and exploring other things or a developing culture that's from your peers. So I suppose it's to put the spotlight on that, and it's pretty funny. It's done because we're all kind of a bunch of loose cannons in this band. We're always pretty wild and drunk and whatever, but we hope that it has a kind of social commentary in it, because basically the premise is that we're advertising the gig that our singer is going to commit suicide after the show. So please buy a ticket, off us for $10 because we're not going to see this guy anymore. And yeah, so that's what it is, and it's a short film.
So the film's going to be available to buy on DVD?
I don't know. I don't think we'll have it on DVD because it's only going to be a short film. It will be an online release at some point, but we're not going to publish it online for quite a while because we're doing these 2 shows in Melbourne and Sydney to kind of do like a preview screening of it, and then the director's sending it off to film festivals around the world, so it's going to be screened at quite a number of international film festivals. Like the director's work has George Kalpa, he's been on quite a few, And yeah, so it's going to do the rounds on the film festivals. While it's doing the rounds, you can't publish it online. So it might even be early next year until we release it online. So that's why people need to come to the show.
Yeah, definitely.
But no one's going to die after it.
Is this director by any chance the one who did your last film clip?
No, it's not. This is an Australian one. This is because the last guy was a guy based in Hungary. This director is a Melbourne-based guy, George Kelper. He also plays in a band called Nil. But yeah, he's really talented, and his style is kind of very European art cinema and kind of David Lynch sort of style of kind of films he makes. So yeah, it's really cool. Like, I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it yet, but it's a little bit of a sneak peek. We're releasing another trailer tomorrow, which is a kind of darker side of it, because the first one's a little bit lighter.
Right. And you're releasing those on your Facebook page, which you are Alithia Band on Facebook?
Yeah, that's right.
So people go and like that. They can not only see where the events are, they can get sneak peeks and find out. I guess you're going to keep us up to date with what's happening if your movie wins any awards over in Europe or anything.
Yeah, I mean, look, we'll just be wrapped if it gets screened at like a lot of film festivals. We're really confident that it is going to, because this director's, a lot of his work's been screened at quite a lot. So. And
you are actually... You're launching it first in Sydney on the 28th of August.
Yeah. So we're doing the two shows back to back. And the reason why they're so close to each other is because Chaos Divine is joining us for both shows. And so, like, obviously coming all the way from Perth, it makes a lot more sense to do the flights all in one run, because, of course, it doesn't pay to be in the band, and, they won't make all their money back on flights. So if they try and come over 2 weekends, that's more flights and that's more money. So, and we're so stoked to be sharing the stage with them again, because they're an awesome band, and yeah, they're really, really great guys. Yeah,
and you do, as I just mentioned, the August the 28th you're in Sydney, and then the 29th you're at the Evelyn Hotel in Melbourne to launch.
The 29th, August 29th at the Evelyn, that's right, yeah. So we're going to do an exclusive screening of the film, because no one will be able to see it probably until early next year, unless you're in one of the other countries that it's going to be filmed at. And we're also re-releasing the album because it's out through Birds Road Records, which is a label for Sleep Makes Waves.
Yeah, awesome.
So it has some new packaging, so yeah.
Well, you said the movie's going to be floating around Europe, and you're going over to record. Is that later this year going to record?
No, it'll be sometime in the first half of next year. So basically, this year we'll continue writing the record. I think we'll be doing an Australian capital cities tour in November, December.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have all the dates locked in just yet, but we will soon. And then, early next year we'll be going over to Istanbul. We'll do a tour as well around Europe. And back to Russia as well, and record the album and come back. And who knows what it'll sound like? I have no idea.
Awesome, yeah. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to find out what you do come back with, if it's actually got a Middle Eastern hint to it.
Well, it probably will a little bit, because, I mean, like on the first album, we didn't plan to have any guest artists at all, and we had, I think 4. We had a violin player, a singer, the gaita player, and a rapper, and they were just all people that we just met, while we were there. So I think probably the same thing will happen again, with pretty loose guys, and, we'll meet some people. So we would love to have people bring some exotic instruments and add to our sound. That would be beautiful.
Yeah, awesome. And the 28th of August in Sydney at the Factory Floor with Chaos Divine headlining that show, but you will be showing your movie Sacrifice.
Yep, that's right.
And then the 29th in Melbourne at the Evelyn Hotel, where you are headlining and you are showing us your movie in Melbourne.
Yep, that's right. But, I mean, Chaos Divine, I think, they've got bigger profile than us. So for me, it's kind of more like a double headliner sort of thing. But just because it's hometown, probably, we just swapped them around for both shows. But, yeah. So it's kind of like a co-headliner.
Well, I think your generosity shows there, Alithia, are a very cool band and very welcoming. And I'm sure this movie's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Have you seen the trailer?
It looks really cool. How long does it run, the movie?
So the first cut's not finished yet. I think it's going to be somewhere between 8 and 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah. No, it looks like it was probably a lot of fun for you guys to make, but you've got all this drama and stuff happening in it. And...
Yeah. It had a script, but we didn't know it's filmed mostly as improv.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you.
It's always great catching up with you guys, and I look forward to seeing you on the 29th at the Evelyn Hotel in Melbourne.
Thanks, Kat. Well, I'll make sure I have you on the guest list for that 100%.
Oh, thank you. You have a good night. Thank you for letting me call you.
No, thank you so much.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
Bye.